Hey, this is Chelsea from Digital Art Teacher, and we're still talking about adding finishing touches to your digital collage. Now, what if you want to add some non-photo elements? And maybe you don't know what I mean by that. This would be like if you want to add some fun brush strokes with a brush tool, create some scribble marks, perhaps putting a shape at the end of a body part to make it look less awkward. I have done this with my body part that I cut off, but if I wanted to, I could get my shape tool and I could create a shape like so to make it look like this body part just kind of ended. And then of course I'll have to fill it and I'll have to make it on a layer that can be seen. So I'll put it right under the layer I'm working on, or right over the layer I'm working on rather. And then it looks like that body part has just kind of stopped. So whether you like this look or whether you like this look, that's up to you. It is a little tricky to work with all of these layers, but you have to kind of be patient with yourself, and if something's not working, then you might want to check and see the layer that you're on and see if you need to rearrange some things. But back to that brush tool. Let's say you want to add some brush marks behind or around some of your subjects. That can be easily done grabbing your brush tool. And you'll notice that I've got an X here. And the reason for that is that I'm on a layer with a smart image. What that means is that this image is not going to be damaged no matter what you do. And it asks you if you want to rasterize it. Now, it's okay if you rasterize your images. It just means that the quality is not going to be maintained as you work. And if you're having trouble with your computer, like if it's slowing down, rasterizing your images might help with that too. But for my purposes, I'm going to add a layer and I'll call it Scribbles. And now I'm ready to go. I can do all the scribbles that I want to. And you'll notice that some of my subjects are in front and some of my subjects are behind the scribbles. Now I want my scribbles to be behind all of the people in the image, so I'm going to drag that all the way to the bottom of my images. And now when I scribble, it will be behind everything. I'm going to make my brush a little bigger. And I've got this set to a round opacity. It says pressure here. And just for this collage, I don't have a pressure pen. So if you have a Wacom tablet, yours will look different than this. Like when you swipe across, you should have a blended end on both sides. If you don't have that and you're using a regular old mouse like me, then you'll have these hard edges no matter what brush you choose. So I'm going to do a rough scribble all the way down, kind of helping to draw that eye down the page. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the gradients, and if you don't have this, it should be in your window panel. But I'm going to choose a gradient for this, and it's really easy to kind of switch between gradients and see which ones you might want to use. I think that one looks good to me. And you'll notice that it added a layer, and this little arrow here means that this layer is only going to affect the scribbles layer. And if that thing wasn't there, then it would affect everything that's underneath your scribbles layer. Some other things I might want to do. I'm going to add another layer again and do more scribbles since this one has that gradient on it. I don't want a gradient on everything. I'm going to make my brush smaller by choosing my left bracket. And I'm going to get a different color. I think I'll choose this one, and if I decide I want to change the color later, I can. So now I'm going to create some like movement lines behind my subjects. And these are just rough lines. They don't have to be anything super precise. That's kind of the nice thing about a collage, is that you can just kind of play. Nothing has to be precise. And then I'll do one more just for the fun of it. Let's do kind of a different brush. I'm going down here to the special effects. And I'm gonna try some splatter paint behind my guy here. And I'll choose maybe this pink color too. And the splatter kind of went a little too far on this side for me, so I'm going to get my eraser by pressing E, and I'm just gonna get rid of some of these over here. I could do it that way, or if I decided that I wanted to get rid of all of the splatters on this side, I could just take my eraser and undo them all. Of course, I have to be careful not to erase anything else that's on that layer. And there you are. Now, the more layers you add, the more confusing it gets, so try to remember to name your layers as you go.